All right. So anyway, back to Tooth and Tail. Mishi and Sasha.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, I'm really, really hyped for this one, dude.
This is a best of 9.
I know it's insane. I didn't realize that until like a second ago.
Yeah, me too. Because I was putting the replays in the folder. I was like, oh my gosh, there could be 9 games here.
Right.
So this is the semifinals, because the winner of this one goes to the finals against Tatanka, right?
Yeah, yeah. Semifinals or losers bracket finals.
Okay, sure.
Right.
And
Sasha just lost in the winners bracket, and Mishi has just been crushing through the losers bracket,
mm-hmm.
round after round, pushing every game to the final match.
Awesome. And Mishi did just take down R22 as well.
Right.
So we've got the last folks here. I think that means that R22 gets 4th place in the tournament overall, which is awesome.
Yeah, sounds right.
And then the loser of this game will take the 3rd place point, which is also incredible. We've got 16 really strong players in the division, so no shame in falling out here for sure.
Right.
Okay, I've got my scoreboard set up. We have 2 minutes to go by my clock, and I've got a prediction up. So anybody in the chat, definitely take a guess. Throw some points at somebody.
So who do you favor here?
I mean, okay, so I've been a little bit out of the loop lately, so I haven't seen the very most recent play out of both of these folks, but
yeah.
I think if Sasha's in it, like mentally, she can take it.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think Sasha would be my favorite, but only by like, I'm talking like 5-4, 5-3, not one-sided by any stretch.
Yeah, I agree. When Sasha's on point, she's like borderline unstoppable. I mean, she got her way to the end of winners bracket. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Nobody stopped her until Tatanka in that semifinals on the winner's side.
Right. So, like I've played them both pretty extensively, and I'm a little more scared of Sasha. It just depends on what kind of game she brings, because like the one thing I will say is that Mishi has been practicing way harder. You know, like I've seen Mishi on the ladder like every night to every other night for the past couple of weeks, and just getting a ton of practice, and probably practicing more than anyone in this tournament that's left, I'd say.
Sure. Okay. I'll say that the characteristic plays for both of these, Sasha is super aggressive, or not like Meek level aggressive, but definitely very good at pulling off crazy attacks and lizard aggression and that kind of aggressive play style. Whereas Mishi is more macro oriented in a way. So, and the meta being a defensive meta right now kind of favors Mishi in that way. I think that's my read on it.
But that's the thing. Like that's what I was thinking earlier too. Like if Sasha can tame her aggression and play like a little more macro focused, then I think she's gonna have a good time. But some of the older games in this tournament, we've seen like a lot of like trying to make things work on one base and like almost like too aggressive for Sasha. And that's when I feel like I've seen her like fall more often. So
yeah, unfortunately, this isn't the patch for her. Kind of like Araloo. Right. Araloo in the mole patch was just dominating, and then he kind of fell out when when Mass Tier 2 and Toads and moles didn't work out as well. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, I think Mishi is playing closer to meta right now, but Sasha is such a strong, aggressive player that this is a pretty good match.
Yeah, I mean Mishi's late game of just Wolf Mass Snake is pretty insane if you think about it. Because like a Wolf buff group of like 20 snakes will just kite you to death. You'll never be able to catch them. They'll always get guaranteed damage off with their snake tags. It's really hard to deal with.
Yeah. If we want to compare to the ASL, I'd say Sasha is Mini and Mishi is Rush.
Right.
But that's a bit of a loose connection. So.
Although Mini can't really be Sasha because Mini was playing Wolf Owl 2-base carrier. So.
Oh yeah, all right, that's fair. Okay, I'm ready to go if you're ready to go.
Yeah. Let's do it.
All right, so we just have like about a minute left in that prediction, but I'm gonna let it run since this is the first minute of a best of 9 is not that much of a spoiler. So get your points in there, folks, and we're gonna get started here in 3, 2, 1. We're in. Oh, wait.
What's up?
Oh, how anticlimactic. Give me a second,
I have to go
guys.
back. Let me go back. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. I'm playing on the public test, so those replays aren't gonna work.
Ah, I see. Yeah, so like I don't know. That's where I'm a little torn because like I do think Sasha, like peak Sasha, is a little scarier. But Sasha, has she been practicing? I barely see her on ladder. Mishi's been playing ladder every day practically.
Yeah, I think she's a little burnt out right now, or at least just not as active on
Right.
this current
So
patch. So
Mishi is coming in really well practiced. And the other thing you have to understand is that Mishi's more has like a better championship mentality than Sasha. Like I don't know if I could say that like too confidently, but Mishi has just won so many tooth and tail tournaments in the history of the game.
sure, okay, so like his tournament mindset is rock solid,
Right, exactly,
and
right.
in a best of
Like a
nine,
proven. Yeah, exactly.
yeah, in a best of 9,
Like
that's really gonna kick in right around game 5 and 6 for sure. It's gonna start sinking in Mishi's experience with that.
right.
All right, I'm ready now, for real this time.
Okay, let's do it.
3, 2, 1, we're in. Sasha in the green. I guessed the colors correctly, by the way. In the green
Oh,
over
nice.
here in the right, and Mishi in the top left in the red. So, Kipo, we got a map and we got a deck to talk about. You take your
Yeah.
pick.
So I think the map is just even more or less. I mean, I think it favors Sasha slightly only because of Sasha's build, right? So this is sort of what I expected. I knew it was going to be mine MG Owl. I didn't know it was going to be no lizards. I didn't know it was going to be Falcon because Falcon isn't really like a meta unit right now. Um, but I think for what Sasha's trying to accomplish, which is getting owls out, this is a very good map to do it on. So Mishi is gonna potentially have to go through some tight choke points if Mishi wants to attack prior to that owl coming into the game.
Yeah, and with the tight choke points, the skunk turret is freaking amazing in tight choke points. It's almost invincible. Even
Yeah,
with toads, if you spread your turrets out a little bit, the toads aren't going to work as well either. So, yeah,
yeah, we have a
I think if Sasha plays pretty defensively here to get up the owl, it's going to be Mishi's just going to have to accept that and move on.
I think in the first little skirmish, Sasha came out on top. Mishi over defended from Sasha, building those two mines, delaying the farms. So Sasha's gonna be pretty happy, with just that little bit of eco advantage in the early game, both grabbing their expansions real fast. And look at this, no lizards, man. In today's day and age, no lizards. That's crazy to see, honestly. I think it's gonna be the only game in this series without a single lizard in it.
Maybe not the only one, but I was going to say this is a best of 9, so Sasha could just be waiting on the lizards to maybe telegraph wrong to Mishi. Like, Mishi's got toads here, and in this meta, toads, the only thing they're good against is pure lizard or, like, mass turrets. So Mishi's ready for lizards, and he's not going to get him this game. So
Yeah, Mishi putting down that mine in an unfortunate timing. Not knowing where his commander is, just hoping to get it down for free, and gonna jump ahead in the economy game. I mean, this is pretty much every game we see with Mishi. You know that he's gonna maximize the greed factor.
yeah, Mishi's kind of known as like Melvin is a macro player, absolutely crazy macro, but Mishi is like the OG, just insane the farming type greed. He's already got 16 farms. He's gonna just go ahead and grab another base because why stop at 16? He's sold off one of his tier 1 warrens and rebuilt it, but there's no way
Oh
Sasha's
god.
gonna be able to push in with 6 squirrels. So this is
I
so much
think
greed.
it is so much greed, and I do think Mishi is the greediest player. But I honestly think this probably favors Sasha because I think
Because
this
of the
gives
late game comp.
because it gives a better chance that owls are gonna be a factor in this game, which is probably not what Mishi wants.
Right. Now, I do want to say, Mishi's not being blindly greedy here. He does have, like, mines forward, so if Sasha ever tried to poke in, Mishi would have plenty of forewarning. So, you know, he's playing smart. It's just obvious his goal is to macro up. So here we have 5 farms on each of the third bases. That's 21 farms each, completely even, basically. Both sides getting a tier 2. Skunks for Sasha and Snakes for Mishi. But here we have the divergence. Mishi filling out the 24 farms and Sasha getting an owl. So there you go. There's your owl.
I liked Sasha's attempt at a fake out, rallying the troops to look like she was going to attack and then backing them off at the last minute just to slow down Mishi's economy just a little bit. But Mishi didn't really bite. We got 2 owls on the way and we have 6 chameleons. Man, that's pretty crazy. Like 6 chameleons.
Yeah, I think Mass Cam Snake would be great for Mishi right now.
Right, I think so too, because Sasha doesn't have the counter to the chameleons. Like no snakes on the board for Sasha.
Yeah, now Mass Owl is going to beat Cam eventually, just because melee units, one's free and one's not.
Right.
But yeah, I like if Mishi goes for a timing push or something and Sasha just gets one wave of mice out, then Mishi could be all right. I do want to point out here, both sides using mines. I kind of like the zoning. You can use mines to just get vision and kind of zone your opponent back. So it kind of gives me a TvT vibe right now. Like going back to StarCraft because I played too much of that lately. I'm getting like 2 Terran players putting mines down on the map in the same way and trying to just play for position.
Mishi's sacrificed so much army to get this major, huge mega economy. Like Mishi's economy is insane right now. It's so much more than Sasha's, but I like Sasha's comp more. Like no tier 1, like cut all the fat, Mass Falcon for Skunk. Like I don't think Mishi can beat Sasha this game, not with this comp.
Yeah, but I mean, he got 32 farms by 5 minutes. That might be the most farms, the biggest farming I've seen ever as a caster in Tooth and Tail. So if you have enough of the wrong thing, you can beat the right thing. So don't count Mishi out yet. That's a lot of Skunk Falcon. Or sorry,
that is
Cam Falcon.
But it's only 3 Falcons so far. It looks like Sasha's gonna make her move. I think this is the exact right time to do it. I don't think she could wait any longer, or else that eco lead for Mishi is just gonna be too big. So let's check out this attack. I think it's gonna look good for Sasha, but there are 8 chameleons.
So Mishi waiting on most of Mishi's Falcons are not ready yet. So the first mice wave goes in, doesn't do too much besides clearing some mines, but now Mishi's starting to get 1 cam. Now Mishi's starting to get all of those Falcons, and 18 Falcons, my gosh. Mice waves are gonna just melt, right?
That's pretty interesting. To watch the Falcon cam, like, just insane DPS, just destroy those mice. Like, you would think that 4 owls would do something, but they only killed a single chameleon? That chameleon was already rebuilt by now.
Yeah. Now, I think it's the kind of thing with that amount of DPS, if Sasha blinks, her owls are just gonna disappear, just fucking vaporize. Excuse me.
I really like the play by Sasha not to go in, not to attack, but to sit back and defend. Look at all of these MGs. There's going to be no counterattack after this.
Mice coming in. Are they going to be able to clear a bunch of cams? It looks like just 2 cams. Wow. I expected more than that. Now, let me say this. Mishi is saving nothing for Starve Farms. Absolutely nothing. This is a completely all-in macro play, whereas Sasha has Starve Farms, a Starve Campfire, this forward mill. So Mishi's economy is only going to go down from here.
2 Falcons for 2 cams, I think that was, so an even trade, but I mean, I like how Sasha's playing this. Really, really, really defensive. Maybe that was a bit of a misplay because
one owl goes down.
Owl, yeah, and also probably didn't want those mice to go in right there. Really needs to get those owls up on that cliff so they don't aggro.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I was saying. With a couple of snakes and those falcons, Sasha blinks and an owl is going to just pop. So you got to be careful how many times you can get away with that, because with the owls, eventually Sasha will win. It's inevitable. But one more mistake, and I think Mishi's got this.
Yeah, and here's the engage going into those MGs and that minefield.
Sasha's army was trapped against a cliff. A lot of the ground army just got cleaned up from... Well, okay, hang on. What ground army? Never mind.
Yeah, but, man, this looks like it's just too much for Mishi right now. The DPS is insane.
I like adding back the squirrels here. It's a little bit more stable DPS than the falcons. Sasha losing 4 falcons out there in the front, all the turrets, and it looks like Mishi's just going to push through here. 20 falcons. So insane.
Yeah, I really think that there was, like, at the very end there, Sasha was kind of bleeding off mice. Like, the mice were going in and not getting any damage done. The owls weren't hanging out in the back. I mean, even if they were, even if Sasha got a perfect engage, I don't know if there's anything that could have been done because of the huge falcon count of Mishi.
Yeah.
Really, really well played.
Yeah, so falcons are one of the only units that scales even close to as well as owls, and right there is where we saw that just the more falcons Mishi added, the more insanely overpowered that death ball got.
I hate to say it, but I almost think if Sasha had snakes, maybe that would have fared better. Because there was a lot of hit and run strategies. Like, that was how Sasha was attacking, right? Going in with the owl, letting the mice go in, getting like a few hits, and then backing up. She did that like 4 or 5 times before the game ended. So maybe if there were snakes, they would have picked off like 2 cams or 3 cams instead of just getting 1 each time.
Yeah,
it's hard
maybe.
to say though.
Yeah, or start picking up falcons that way.
Right.
The other thing is a fox would have been good against Mishi's comp there too, but of course you can't be ready for everything. I just love 32 farms by 5 minutes. 30-second farm started before the first farm fallows. It's so mind-blowing.
Yeah, Mishi's great, man.
All right, let's go into game 2 here. You ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, in.
Just to clarify, you hit the button when you say 1, not in, right?
Usually I go for right as I say in, but I was a little early this time, so if you're also early, we're good.
Okay. So, all right, I'll wait for the in. I got you.
Yep.
Man, look at that. No lizards from Sasha.
I like it. It's the
I don't know how
skunk,
much I like it.
Squirrel mole is a thing. I like it.
So this is Mishi's like bread and butter build. I don't know if Mishi designed this build for specifically against Wolf Owl. I mean, Mishi saw Sasha play Owl, so presumably, Mishi could have picked this build thinking there was an Owl en route. But this is the one that Mishi is just so deadly. This is the one I see most common on ladder and in his, tournament games as well. This deck is just insane. Sometimes Mishi uses Toads. This time Squizzard variation. So this is going to be exciting, I think.
Cool. Well, I haven't seen this a whole lot, so I'm really excited to see Mishi pull this out. Here he is in the right, up 1-0 in this best of 9. Not a huge deal in a best of 9, the first game there, but it's nice for momentum. And then Sasha in the green up here with... This is pretty much an Araloo deck, am I right?
Oh, let me take... Well, that's the Araloo deck from 2 patches ago. That was the go-to. That used to be standard, right?
Right. So, interesting choice from Sasha here.
Sasha can't be too happy right now. Being down 1-0, and, in my opinion, not having a good map. Like, especially against lizards. Mishi has lizards, so how does Sasha expand? That low ground expansion does not look appetizing at all, and that far away expansion is just going to get picked by lizards. Of course, Sasha doesn't know that Mishi picked lizards.
Well, there's one thing going for Sasha here, and that is Mishi has only 1 exit out of the base, so if you kind of sit your army, like right here where that mine is, the lizards can't really get out to harass, so it's not good for Sasha, but it's playable.
Well, they have to go through that water. If they go through that water, which is kind of a commitment, then yeah, but
yeah.
If we're going to even get there. Basically, Sasha is just going to capitalize on the mega green of Mishi and probably take the game.
Yeah, it looks like a squirrel mole push, which is definitely a thing we've seen off and on here. Mole's going to tank quite a lot of squirrel shots. The mill is tanking as well, which is good for Mishi. So
look at Sasha's micro. She's targeting down each unit one at a time, one by one. That's exactly how you're supposed to, micro in these situations. Really well done.
Yeah.
You can learn a lot from these players in this series. These are 2 of the best.
Hey, did you move away from your mic?
Oh, sorry, I may have for a sec.
Okay, cool, no problem. So, not like a game-ending move there, but Sasha did pick off Mishi's farm, which is definitely value. And it looks like Sasha's going to farm up on her expansion here and tech as well. So, I like it. I like Sasha's approach so far in this game.
I love this strategy by Sasha. Like 1 out of every 5 games I play with, like my wins against Mishi, literally punishing greed just like that. That's one of the downfalls of Mishi is that it's so consistently greedy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
So
it's
like a
every
mole
time
push,
you can count on it, really.
right? So a mole push like that and just getting a bunch of tier 1 is like just perfect from Sasha there. So it looks like the game is sort of almost normalizing at this point. We do have skunks coming down from Sasha. We do have lizards coming from Mishi. I kind of prefer to be the lizard person in this scenario, but no AoE against 15 squirrels of Sasha. So I think Sasha's in a decent spot going into the mid game.
Yeah, I'd actually rather be on the Sasha side myself, just because uh, the lizard tech from Mishi doesn't like bridge very well into a late game or mid game even comp. You can't really get up to tier 3s easily, whereas or tier 2. Whereas Sasha with the skunks has already got the first tier 2 out. So you know what I'm saying? In a straight
Yeah,
up fight, the lizards are good,
this is what I
but
was
oh,
this
here
is
we
what
go.
I was talking about. Yeah, going through that waterway, that base is just so far away. The damage from Mishi right now is might be critical.
Oh man, 4 farms or just go for the whole mill. Wow.
Right. That's
Yeah,
one way of
that's
doing it.
this might be the game-winning move right here, the deciding factor. It doesn't matter if all of those lizards get cleaned up, unless Sasha goes immediately for a counterattack and somehow
Yeah.
snipes Mishi's base. That's the only thing I
Two
could think.
squirrels. Two squirrels, and Sasha has a good position here. Mishi with the mines. Those mines are pretty clutch right
Ooh,
now.
oh, one mole getting 2 mines. That's definitely a value for moles. So moving right in here, is Mishi going to be able to hold and keep this base alive? We got skunks laying down their gas here, and that's a lot of tier 1. I think Sasha's going to be able to knock out this base.
I think so. The choke points are really good for Sasha right now, and they're really good for those skunks. But the tier 1's too much. Look, Mishi's bringing around units around the top side of the mill to avoid that skunk gas.
Wow.
And that's going to be it.
Yeah, so the reinforcements from Mishi, just having so many tier 1 Warrens, every one of those tier 1 Warrens gave a reinforcement for that fight, which just kind of amplified the defender's advantage. Now, Sasha did kill 2 out of 3 pigs, but Mishi's still ahead.
Right. Like, this is what I was saying, man. Squizzard against Squirrel Skunk. I almost always rather be the Squizzard player. It's just such a strong composition right now. And this might be the killing blow.
Yeah, that skunk does go down, didn't get as much value that time. Mishi forced to sell on the farm. And having a couple of farms of his own, even if that was like an even army trade, that's good because Mishi's got the eco.
Yeah, the counterattack just wasn't enough. And in the beginning of that engage, Sasha lost his skunk kind of unnecessarily. So for most of the fight, it was just a one skunk Sasha. I think if Sasha
Oh.
maybe saved that initial skunk, which just dropped real quick, maybe she would have been able to take that mill.
Yeah, because all the reinforcements coming in from Mishi would have hit that much more skunk gas. Now, I want to say those mines, the 3 mines out in the front, 2 of them did go down to a mole, but
Yeah.
I think that was a really clutch call there, because you know as Mishi that Sasha has to counterattack.
Exactly.
So Sasha here kind of trying to farm up on the low ground. Like, it's so nerve-wracking to be sitting here facing Squizzard on the low ground trying to catch up against Mishi, the king of greed. He loses a farm.
Yeah. Really nice play by Mishi.
It's going to try to push in again.
Just forcing the engage here.
This is a good choke again for the skunks, but I don't see Mishi losing this. Yeah, it's just too much.
Man, Mishi played that so well at the end. That was really nice tooth and tail out of Mishi right there. Sniping that farm, not engaging. He's saying, I'm not going to go in against 2 skunks in that kind of choke point. I'm going to back up, wait for the gas to dissipate, and then try and flank and get a perfect engage. And that's exactly what he did. Dude, the patience for Mishi.
Oh, yeah. He played a little behind at the beginning there after that squirrel mole push. Sasha's playing really well, pulling ahead. Killer lizard counterattack. And then after that, Mishi was just patient. He knew he was ahead.
Yeah. I mean, the second Mishi scouted that mill, just went right in with the lizards, and that really made the difference there.
Yeah, you called
GG,
it.
well played.
Yeah, you called it at that map there. So we're going into game 3 in 3, 2, 1, click.
Click, all right. Even clearer for me.
Yeah.
I like the change up to click.
Right. So we've got Mishi in the
Artie.
Mishi with the Artie in the bottom left here, up 2-0. It's starting to be a lot of momentum here for Mishi, and Sasha in the top right. Same deck here. So yeah, that Artie.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
So, yeah, so basically, I have a theory that Mishi is styling because he's up 2-0, so he's just pulled out the arty. I think when Mishi gets ahead in a series and gets comfortable, he goes for the arty. I don't know if it's like what the reason is, if he's just styling on his opponent, if he's just like thinks it's just like a good play to do when you're ahead, or he can get like a big advantage from it or something. But I have noticed a subtle pattern. Mishi, correct me if I'm wrong in DMs, that if Mishi's up in a series, like this is a 2-0, start going into this, he'll sometimes throw in an arty.
I mean, it makes sense. Like from a mental game standpoint, if you win this third game with an Artie, it's a bit of a cheesy play. The Artie doesn't really have a stable place in the meta. It's a bit of a cheesy style. Not that it's bad, but if you win now with the Artie, you're just putting your opponent in such a terrible mental space. It's going to be really hard to pull back. And if you lose with it, it's like, well, okay, well that was an Artie, and I'm still up 2-1, so I'm all right.
Sasha, why aren't you playing Lizards? I don't get it. Because you just lost the game to Lizards, and you're really good at playing Lizards. But this is now game 3, down 0-2, and still no Lizards from Sasha.
I don't mind the Squirrel Mole since it worked last time.
Well,
it got a little
yeah.
ahead, but yeah, I mean, we all know that one of Sasha's strengths is lizard play. So, is she pulling her punches right now, or what?
Yeah, right. Just waiting to go down, like, to be down by 3 games before pulling the Lizards out. I don't know.
Reverse sweep, man. That's what it's gonna be. We got Heartseed in the chat saying Artie's great and people don't expect it. One of the halves of that statement is true.
People definitely don't expect it. Only a handful of players really use it. Mishi gonna go up in economy like usual. Looks like Sasha's gonna go for the punish play. It's pretty much an exact 1-for-1 like replica of last game.
Yeah.
Let's see if Sasha gets more done.
I actually like it better for Mishi this time, but we'll see here. Mishi did see it coming.
Yeah. Like, I really like the kiting and fighting in the Warrens.
Oh, the pig doesn't even die! Yeah, see, this is what I'm saying, is Mishi was more ready for that. And that pig didn't even go down, but even if it had, I think that was a solid hold for Mishi. And he's just going to go right back into greed now.
Yeah, Mishi's miles ahead. Like, I don't want to say the game's over, but Sasha's going to have to, like, really make something crazy happen to get back into this game. Like, Mishi's unit positioning is so good. Like, fighting on top of the Warrens, like, just waiting for the Warren to take, like, you know, a 4th damage so that, you know squirrels are targeting it and hitting it, and then right-clicking in to engage.
Yeah.
Like, the position of the Warren, like, Mishi always has a perfect Sim City. Like, that's one thing I've learned a lot from studying. Like, his Sim City and his Warren placement is always, like, optimal.
Gotcha. Now, I'm with you when you say, game's not over yet, and I'm gonna back that up by saying Sasha has skunks, so overall, unless and until the Artie comes down, I actually prefer Sasha's deck. So, I think something could happen here. Mishi is gonna tech into some cams, and Sasha was faking a mole push, and it looks like she's gonna tech instead behind this.
I mean, I think it was intentional. I think it was just scouted, which is unfortunate.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I like the Skunk Snake here. Skunk Snake is such a crazy combo in this patch. But Mishi's just so far ahead in eco.
Yeah. I don't know if it's ever going to come out. We got 18 squirrels against 15 squirrels right here. So Mishi's already has a big advantage. The Camellias are on the board. Still no skunks or snakes to be seen. So this would be the perfect timing. Mishi has to go right now. Cannot wait too much longer.
Yeah, and those forward pigs from Sasha are just begging to be picked off here. The cams are going to get in. The moles aren't even out fast enough.
Pure squirrel, man. Look at those squirrels.
Oh, they're just sitting on top of Sasha's expansion, just wreaking havoc.
Right, and there goes the mill.
That is too much.
Oof. Man, Mishi looking so good this series.
Yeah, scouting that mole push in time to react was so important.
And then scouting the tier 2 Warrens going and saying, wait a second, tier 2s are going down now? I have a timing if I attack within the next 45 seconds in this game, and then boom.
Yeah, and also a bit of an unfortunate map again, I think. The way that they were playing it anyway. Definitely favored Mishi's position there, I think.
Okay, so are we going to see lizards or no? Like, at this point, Tandor?
Are you begging?
I kind of am.
All right, let's see game 4. 3, 2, 1. We're in. So
No, still no. Oh my
Sasha,
goodness.
the lizardless Sasha in the far right here in the green on some low ground, and Mishi in the top on the mid-high ground in the red, and we've got owl play from both sides maybe.
Yeah, I'm getting
Squirrel, skunk,
flashbacks.
yeah, squirrel, skunk, snake, owl. Mishi's got some moles and some mines, and Sasha has some barbed wire and some balloons. So slightly different theories about how to get that endgame comp up, but it's a good endgame comp.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, the decks are really similar. When I said I was getting flashbacks, this is exactly how Mishi took me out. In our final game, he ran owls and pulled it out, and I just was completely... I did not see it coming. Um, but the more you study Mishi, the more, patterns you see, and owl is definitely within his repertoire. So it's going to be interesting. Again, a game without lizards.
I like this comp on this map for, I think for Mishi I prefer. Just if you kind of follow the ridge of high ground here, if Mishi can get control of that, Sasha's sitting on the low ground. Like, there's no way she can get up. But if she can get up onto the high ground, I think we're all right. I don't know. Is that kind of what you're seeing too?
Yeah, I mean it's not an easy deck to play from either side, but I think Sasha got the short end of the stick here, to be honest. Like, it's kind of unfortunate that Sasha's had kind of bad map RNG this series.
Yeah,
Especially like
and
going into the game 4, having bad map RNG down 3-0, like it's just bad on your mental state. It's demoralizing.
yeah, for sure. And I mean, there's a lot of maps that look bad but can be played if you have the right deck. I mean, Heartseed is a good example of that. He makes really bad decks work out and look like they were in his favor all along. But he also plays like a really weird, different style anyway. And like you said, the mental state is just...
Looks like Sasha's like, screw this, like I don't want to play this game on this map, so I'm just gonna all in with pure squirrels. Mishi's kind of calling it though, so I guess Mishi's gonna be able to defend fine. I don't see this engage going in Sasha's favor at all. And like, I don't know.
Too much
I don't know
mill
what I just
tanking.
saw, to be honest. Yeah.
Too much. I think if
know.
Sasha had pulled back more, like put some damage on the mill, backed up, that could have been an idea. But as it was, too much defender's advantage for Mishi.
That was a mistake you'll never see Sasha make. I think Sasha's tilted.
I'll believe that. I'll believe that.
Because like,
yeah, Sasha's
anyone
grip
could
on
have
the
seen
early game
that.
is definitely strong, and that was a mistake.
But it's not the series, right?
Nope.
Okay,
We are
so
going
Sasha has to win 5 in a row now?
Yes.
Dang.
I think if Sasha was fully practiced and Mishi was like still a little bit rusty from playing a long time ago, but less recently, then I would say Sasha could totally do it. Right now, though, I'm a bit worried.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's go into game 5 here. Match point for Mishi. 3, 2, 1. All right.
Where we see lizards from Sasha.
Yeah.
Finally!
All right. This is the beginning of a comeback, guys.
Yeah, exactly. Now we could have a proper series.
So Sasha here in the left with a Squizzard tier 2 army, and Mishi all the way in the top here with Squizzard as well. This is that deck you were saying Mishi's pretty solid on, yeah? That's the one he uses a lot?
This is it, but the usually not the MG. MG
okay.
is usually it's a mine.
Okay, 4-farm double.
Yeah, Mishi, man, like this is what makes a tournament like a champion. You know what I mean? Like going for the crazy plays, like when everything is on the line that no one expects. Well,
yeah.
I guess nothing is really on the line because
not for
it's
Mishi.
4-0.
Yeah, it's
right.
like Mishi can afford to blunder a 4-farm double and lose a game and still be like way far ahead. So why not, right?
But I like the mixing in the cheese. You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely. That's a very mini-esque kind of thing too.
Right. A lot of champions will mix in cheese, but it looks like Sasha's gonna come out on top. It's got an eco lead, army lead. In my opinion, a better comp. So Sasha calling the bluff, just scouting properly, reacting properly.
Yeah. This is. I mean, Sasha's been 4-farm doubled so many times that as long as she scouts it, she knows how to react to it. So she's good.
Right.
Yeah, we have in the comments here. Sasha was the bracket wasn't entirely clear right at the end there. We weren't sure what the semifinals was going to look like. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was a winners losers thing, but the thing is, like, I don't think the bracket was ever posted in Discord, like what it looks like.
yeah, an image of it. Yeah.
Like, I don't think there was a proper image, so I think people just kind of got DMs regarding who they're playing next.
Yeah, and they could follow the challenge link as well. But yeah, I think that would be a comment for improvement on next season. I would have is try to show a graphic at some point.
Yeah,
That
like
way.
remember Mocha's graphics, dude?
Oh,
Were
dude,
so good.
Yeah, I'm sure it took a lot of work to get those out. Like that had to be a lot of hours of work, but they looked great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it
Awesome member of the community, awesome tournament organizer.
Yeah, absolutely. So here we are, Sasha expanding forward, literally the only expansion that she can take unless she's trying to go ninja, and Mishi expanding to the side, not really interested in the super close mill that Mishi could have gone for. So
Yeah, once again, I think Mishi has a better map. Like, I hate to say it, but it's kind of true. So still the map RNG not going for Sasha, but Sasha has a playable map, which is an improvement from the last game and some of the other games in this series.
yeah, might be too little too late though.
Right, here comes Mishi. Like, look at that. Just capitalizing on the scouting rotation. I think Mishi could have picked that farm, but decides to go back and just play it safe. Keep it cool. I mean, if you've been winning in the late game, you don't need to take any risks. Like Mishi can play as conservative as he wants right now. Especially because I think Mishi's mindset, like the way that Mishi thinks they're going to win this game, is by this Ferret Siege strategy. So there's no reason to run in with Lizards.
Yeah, it's cool to see. It's cool to see Ferret player make it so far, and Ferret style make it into a tournament semifinals. We don't really think of Ferret play as, try hard or serious, but I'd love to see it here.
Look at we could study the Warren placement from Mishi. Always perfect. Looks like Sasha thinks there's an angle. I don't think there is, though. Look, the Warren's tanking. Mishi's going in now. Oh my god, is it a...
It's not going to be... Yeah, oh, wow. Okay, yeah. Last second, a couple of squirrels pop, and Mishi just completely crushes that push. Sasha's going to have to at least sell that forward farm.
Mishi's timing and engages are perfect. Like, the Warren tanked to its maximum capacity. It got down extremely low. The position of everything...
There's no way.
Mishi,
there's no way all of that was luck. Like, Mishi set that up, like you're saying.
Like, the timing of when to right-click on your opponent and engage. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
The positioning of the units and everything was really well done.
That's how you can be as greedy of a player as Mishi is having that much, like, game sense for defending.
Right.
And Mishi's not pushing it. He's not going to give Sasha the opportunity to have that good of a defensive engagement. Just, take the powerful defense when you've got it, and otherwise you're greeding up, right? Turret's going down and the Ferret coming out.
Yeah, doing a little bit of a turret crawl here, which I like to see. I mean, it's a big investment into turrets, guys. We got 4 of them down. So Sasha's going to have a better army. It's just a matter of how much of an impact these turrets are going to have on the game. So look at the turret crawl. You sell the ones in the back, and you make them more, forward. Dude, this is so cool for Mishi, guys. We're actually seeing a siege strat with ferrets in the finals of the losers bracket.
Yeah, straight
Everyone's
up.
saying ferrets are so bad. Like,
well, and here's the thing too: is those turrets don't help the army of Mishi if Mishi attacks, but Mishi with the ferrets is going to force Sasha to attack into the turrets, and then the turrets get their full value. Like here we have Sasha having to go in at an angle, a good angle. They're picking off that turret, and Mishi's going to kind of chase here.
Right. I mean, that was the moment to go in. Mishi sees the opportunity. Let's see if he's going to win the engage. It looks like it. It looks like Mishi's going to take this.
Yeah, Skunk pops out just at the...
Oh my gosh. Wait, 5-0?
5-0 for Mishi. That's not what I expected.
Holy snap, dude. Yo, the Ferret Siege turret crawl strat, guys. Keep saying that they're not good. They looked pretty dang good that game. They forced the engage.
I mean, I will say that I'm with Epicosity when he says Ferret's trunk his turrets are broken. I mean, the turrets were so good there. The ferrets were okay, but the turrets were amazing.
Yeah, that was a really well executed like strategy and just series by Mishi. Flawlessly done. Well done, Mishi. Good
Yeah.
games.
Yep. And Sasha taking third place in the Premier Tournament. Absolutely up where she belongs in the top. I've always thought of Sasha as a top 5 player. So, so good
Yeah,
result there.
definitely deserving of that third place finish. Really well played tournament from Sasha for sure. And one of the things I respect also about Mishi, like the range of strategies.
Yeah, we did
Like
see
how
quite a we had the turret siege. Didn't we have an owl play at the beginning? No, no,
we
no.
had
He was
so
beating an
much
owl.
like rush macro game, just different builds every single map. Like I think Mishi might be the most dynamic player at the top right now. I mean, Meek is an in Premier. I know he's an extremely dynamic player, but in terms of like diversity and strategy and like the way that you approach a series, Mishi's looking good, man. So I think it's going to be an awesome finals.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Mishi with all of the dynamic play and all of that tournament experience is now going to be going up against Tatanka, who is the giant in the room playing uh, the strongest comp in the patch right now, as the community has decided. We're gonna have Tatanka against Mishi, and that's hype because Mishi looks like he can take anyone down.
Right. Mishi's like so Mishi gets better as the tournament goes on. I'm sure you guys know, like Mishi doesn't really play too much in the off season. Almost never see Mishi on ladder except when there's a tournament happening. So like the later Mishi goes and the farther the tournament moves on, I feel like Mishi's like leveling up, like with each match becoming like SSJ level 2, SSJ level 3. And like we're finally seeing Mishi in like the final form, you know what I mean? Like the
Yeah,
ultimate like Mishi. So
yeah, and in those long like best of nines and things like that, even in that series, Mishi's just going to get a better handle on his opponent. And is Tatanka going to be flexible enough and have enough choices to be able to counter that, or is Tatanka just going to have the same comp, which is always good? Is Tatanka just going to stick with the same concept all the way through, or is he going to try to vary it up a little bit?
yeah, I think there'll be small variations, but I think both Owl Snake will be in every match. Something interesting to point out, I'm looking at the bracket now. So Mishi beat Swifty, lost against Trumpet, and then went on a spree, a killing spree, a murder spree in the losers bracket, taking out Epicosity, myself, Night Slayer, R22, and then Sasha in the finals. Tatanka has just been crushing winners bracket, so let's take a look at that path. Epicosity, Fleur, Night Slayer, Tiki. That's it. And this whole entire tournament, Tatanka hasn't dropped a single game, except for one game in the what's it called, like the preliminaries.
Right.
Tatanka lost a single game in the preliminaries. Other than that, though, has been completely flawless. So,
I don't see Tatanka just clean sweeping Mishi though. Mishi's got to take a game.
oh yeah, with how greedy he plays.
Yeah, but I mean, Tatanka knows that Mishi plays greedy, and Tatanka can play greedy too. So
Right.
I don't know, guys. It's gonna be hype. Don't count Mishi out. Definitely keep an eye out for that finals.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a good one. It's the best of 13 too, by the way.
Yeah, best of
Just crazy.
13. Wow. Okay. Wasn't there something about the winners match side starting at a game
2
lead at a mat lead?
2-0, I believe. Tatanka starts 2-0.
Okay. Okay. So it's
Yeah.
11 games after that. So it's similar to a best of 9 as far as that goes.
Yeah.
Interesting. Because
Yeah.
if Mishi won 2 games, then we'd be at a best of 9 basically.
Yeah, too bad Trumpet dropped out. I think that he would have definitely been in the mix in terms of like who takes second, who takes third, and whatnot. But really, I just want to say again, really well played tournament from Sasha getting third and R22 getting fourth, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Solid play
Yeah.
from both of those. R22 hadn't been playing in a while, I think, so coming back from the old days and crushing so well. So, hey guys, thanks to Kipo for being here, and I'm gonna cast some StarCraft. I've got a best of 3 1v1 from the Brood War Clan League Little League, and I've got a best of 3 2v2. So stick around for that. Other than that, that's thanks for the cast.
Hey, thanks for having me. I hope you all enjoyed the show, and I will catch you all later.